Yo, good evening, everybody. How you doing? This is your coach Renz, and I want to be able to take a few minutes of your time to tell you exactly why your life sucks. All right, now right there, I just did something that marketers would tell me not to do, and that is to tell you the truth and tell it to you exactly how you think about it. You tell yourself the truth, but then the marketing idea is to tell you the story that's similar enough that you still get the truth, but it's nice and sweet. I'm not doing that tonight. I'm going to break the rule. I'm going to tell you exactly the truth about how to make your life happy, how to have success, how to have a great relationship, how to have financial independence, how to have the great health that you want to have and the great body that you want to have. If a marketer came up to you and said that, hey, I want you to take this pill, do this exercise, eat this diet, because at the end of it, you're going to be sexy as all get out. You're going to have a six-pack ab. Women are going to swoon at you. They can't tell you that. They say, I want you to get healthy and have a vibrancy of life. They can't come to you and say that, hey, if you learn these tantric techniques and how to maintain your energy, and then also you understand your spouse's love languages, you can just make them fall so much in love with you that they will just do anything for you. No, they can't tell you that. They tell you that, hey, you need to understand your spouse's love language so that you can have this wonderful, long-lasting spiritual relationship with one another that's filled with excitement and happiness. They can't tell you that, hey, the best things in life are the things that money can buy. If you like going to the amusement park, if you're broke, it's no fun. It's okay, but it's not really fun. But if you can go to the amusement park and do everything and buy everything and not worry about it, that's what money does for you. Money allows you to go on the cruise and take every and any excursion. Money allows you to go on the vacations of a lifetime. Whereas if you don't, then you can only go to the places that's close to you and cheap. They can't tell you that, right? No, they can't tell you that. They just tell you that, hey, let me teach you a method so that you can make some money to have the lifestyle of your desires. That's what they have to tell you. But they know what you're really getting is I can go buy all the stuff I want to buy and do what I want to do and not even work if I don't want to. Because who really wants to work? You want to do your hobbies, but you don't want to work. So I'm going to tell you guys why you can't do that and why you're not doing that. And it's really, you've been trained and tricked to think in ways that doesn't work. One of the ways that you've been trained and tricked is this idea, this thought process, this slogan that I myself even grew up with. And it's said to be, when you know better, you do better. Now, how many of you guys have heard that one? How many of you have heard that one? When you know better, you do better. I spent the first 20 years of my life, my adult life, knowing how to do better financially. But I vacillated the entire time. I knew better, but I didn't do better. I spent that time also knowing how to have great, amazing relationships. I knew better, but I didn't do better because my relationships weren't always great. During that time frame, I knew everything that I needed to do to have a great six-pack Herculean body. But I didn't. At points of my life, I was 300 pounds and my belly was hanging over my belt. I knew better, but I didn't do better. It's BS. It's a lie that you're told in order to get you to feel good about yourself. Well, here's the thing. You don't need to feel good about yourself. You need to hate that part of you. You need to look at that part of you and say, hey, I detest the part of me that doesn't utilize this financial knowledge that I have in order to make my life better. And you should look at that person inside you that's like that and say, you suck. You suck. You should look in the mirror and say that, you know what? I should be wealthy right now. I'm 46 years old. I should be like supremely wealthy, doing whatever I want to do, choosing to work if I choose to, choosing to live out my hobbies and study what I want to study without having to worry about finances. I should be able to do that. That my clock is when I get up. But you suck for wasting the first 20 plus years of your life, or your adult life, not doing it. And you knew how to do it. Yeah, you had your moments. You had your time when you utilized your financial knowledge to get out of debt. You had your time when you use your financial knowledge to get your credit right so that you can get a house and buy cars. Yeah, you use it for a while to make sure that you can go and do these trips that you want to do. But look at all the years you didn't do it. Look at all the years you let emotions get in the way, and you let relationships get in the way and cause you not to do it. Look at all of that. You suck because of all of that. You had this up and down, this swinging from one end of the pole to the other end of the pole. And then it took you finally getting fed up and spending almost 3 years reorganizing, resetting yourself so that you can then follow it and make it a habit that you live with for the rest of your life. You suck when you allowed yourself to get up to 300 pounds and you thought you still looked good because you was wearing suits and you was covering it with your suit. You thought you was still looking good because these little girls who was 10 years younger than you was still trying to flirt with you and still liking you, not even thinking about the fact that they was liking your position. They was liking your money. They didn't like you, fool. You was fat and out of shape. They didn't like you for you. They liked you for what you presented, for what you had, for what you was able to show them. That's what they liked. But now you fell for the okie doke. And you knew it during that time. You knew it. You know better, you do better. You did not do better. And you say that you did. No. You should look in the mirror. You should tell that person who's ruined relationships. Tell that person who knew what they needed to do in order to make their spouse happy. You should tell that person they suck. Because that person ruined that relationship and hurt those people. That person hurt the person that they're looking at in the mirror. That person can still rear their ugly head and mess up your current relationship. You should look at that person. Now, I spent the last 3 years making sure I rid myself of that person. Get rid of that person because I'm not having any more bad relationships. Not on my account. If my relationships don't work, it's because of the other people. It will not be because of me. And yeah, that's not something that a marketer, that's not something that a self-help coach or anybody should be able to say or should say. But that's the truth. When you get yourself right and you doing your stuff right, then you know that it can't be you. But that's, unfortunately, that is not who you are right now, is it? Because you're still holding back in your relationships. You're still holding back your personality. You're still holding back your different levels of intimacy. You're still holding back your willingness to do what you know that makes that person happy. That ain't you. You still holding back. You still sitting the other one who sit there and said that, well, you know, I used to go walking. I got to get back into that. I used to manage my money better. I got to get back into that. I used to keep a clean and organized house. I got to get back into that. I used to work my business, but I got to get back into that. You're the one sitting there talking about how you got to get back into something. Well, if you did it before and you know the benefit of it, why aren't you doing it? Because you know better, so why aren't you doing better? You got into a groove, man. Here's the habit that is worse than a continuous bad habit. It's the vicious cycle habit. It's that habit that, and many of you know this one, you start out exercising. You lose 5 or 10 pounds. Then life interrupts. And when life interrupts, you stop working out. You stop eating right. And then you start eating poorly. And then all of a sudden you gain back that 5 or 10 pounds. And then you start feeling bad and depressed about it. Your clothes don't fit and all that kind of thing. And so then you go back and you start exercising again. Because you say, I got to get back into it. And you start exercising. You exercise and you lose that 5 to 10 pounds again. Then life happens again. And then you get depressed and fat nasty again. And then you say, I got to lose the weight again. I got to get back into it again. And then you keep that vicious cycle keeps going. You've lost the same 5 or 10 pounds. You've lost that 100 times. And because you lost that 100 times, you lost 500 to 1,000 pounds over and over again. Over and over again, you've lost the same weight. Over and over again, you've lived the same life. That's the worst habit because that habit is stretched over such a long period of time that you don't even recognize that it exists. You don't even recognize it exists. And that's horrible because that means that you'll keep going into it. And what's worse is that you'll go a little bit more to the negative, a little bit more to the negative each time. That 5 or 10 pounds will start to take you from 130 pounds to 140 pounds to 150, 170, 180, 200, 210, 220, 250, 280, 300 pounds. And all of a sudden, now you have this huge chasm. You look at them old pictures and think, man, what I used to be. Oh, I got to get back to what I used to be. You love it. And here's the thing about that. Make a decision. Make a decision. Nobody wants to hear you complain, and nobody wants to hear you talk about what you got to get back to. Nobody wants to hear about what you used to do. Nobody wants to hear about the pain and the agony of it all. What we want to hear and see is you actually being the person that you believe that you are. You see, if you want to get rid of those things, if you want to be financially independent, then you have to not just have the knowledge of financial independence, you have to start being financially independent. And how do we do that? Everybody who's listening to this knows that you cannot spend more money than you make. Every one of you know that. Lie to me and say you don't. But every one of you know that you can't spend more than you make. But yet you do it consistently. Now your excuse is, I got all these bills, and I still gotta have food, and I still gotta have clothes, and I still gotta have a roof over my head. But yet you're still going to buy fast food, you're still going to the movies, you're still spending money on frivolous things at the store, you're still buying $5 coffee, you're still doing all these things that causes you to lose money. It's like having a slight crack in the windowsill. It just seeps the air out. It just seeps out, just a little bit. You don't really notice it, just going out just a little bit. It's doing that. That's what your life is like. That's what your money's doing. I guarantee if I take anybody's budget, I can probably find $200 that you can save every month. And with that $200, you can get out of debt. Trust me. It's what I did in 1993, 94, and I was out of debt by 95. Is that I took that little $200. That's all I had was $200. At the end of the month, I had $200. And that $200 got me out of $14,000 of debt. $200. And that was just $1,400, $14,000 of debt when I was only making $1,800 a month because I was in the Marine Corps. I wasn't making that much money. So I was making $1,800 a month. You take out all the taxes and everything. What I had left after that to pay all my bills and everything else, I had $200 left. But I made it work because I was determined. I had a definiteness of purpose. There was nothing else that it could be. I had to get off and under that debt. Now, unfortunately, 5 years later, I lost that mindset for a while. I got back into debt. And then I had to get it back. And I got it back. Then I lost it. Quite frankly, I have to say that I must have loved it. I must have loved it because I kept doing it. Why would I keep doing it if I didn't love it? Why do you keep vacillating, going back and forth in your diet, back and forth in your money, back and forth in your love and your romance if you don't like it? Evidently you do. Evidently you do. Because if you loved being financially independent, you do what you know you should do. If you love being healthy, then you would do it. If you love being in a loving relationship, then you would do what exactly makes your relationship beautiful and loving. But because you don't, because you keep going back and forth, says to me that you love the other side of it. And here's the thing, if you love it, the other side of it, stop complaining. Just be happy over there. Just accept the consequences. If that means that you're going to be alone or you're going to go back in a relationship and out of a relationship, then just love the fact that you're going to be in and out of relationships. If you are going to love the fact that you're going to be unhealthy, then love the fact that your life expectancy is going to get cut short. Love the fact that you're going to have mobility issues. Love the fact that you're going to have all kind of breathing and heart disease and diabetes and all these kind of things. Just love it. Fall in love with it and just welcome it in and say that, ooh, this candy bar, this is my next step to diabetes. Just love it. Love being poor. Love being financially strapped. Love the idea of having to live on family members or the state. Love it. Fall in love with that thing. Like embrace that poverty. Just bring that poverty close up to you and just hold it real tight and just rub it all in, right? And then you ain't got to worry about it. Take whatever job you get fired, whatever it is, get on the welfare. Just love it. Embrace it. Yes. Love that poverty. Gotta love it. Stop complaining though. Now for me, as some people like to say, as for me and my house, I can't fall in love with poverty. Poverty's evil. Poverty is created by the devil. I can't have it if I believe in the devil. But I can't have poverty. I can't have that. I can't fall in love with being 300 pounds ever again in my life. I can't fall in love with not being able to run and jump. I can't fall in love with not having my mobility. I can't fall in love with feeling sick, nasty, and like my body's decaying. I can't fall in love with that ever again. I can't do it. And I certainly will never, ever, ever again fall in love with having bad relationships. I can't. Something that can't be a part of my life. So what do I do? What do I do? What do I do, Coach Renz? You have to take the knowledge that you have and you have to start living it. You have to break it. Remember I told you guys, in order to break your hypnotic rhythm of that other side, you have to do it the right way for 300 times. You have to go get help. You can't do this by yourself. I'm telling you right now, and this is not a marketing thing for me. If you go to someone else, that's fine. But if you're, I got to get it free off wherever I can get it free, and I'm just going to take that little bit that I'm giving, even though I'm not getting the actual steps I need to take, because no, not even myself, I'm not going to give you my worksheets. I'm not going to give you my work program, my DVDs. I'm not giving you those things. You have to pay for them, yes. So if you truly want it, go pay for it. If it's me or if it's somebody else, but go pay for it. One of the best things I've ever done is to pay for programs and coaches and go to seminars. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Why? Because I got totally immersed. I worked with somebody who was on my butt consistently. Over the last 3 years, my coaches have been on my tail consistently about the next stages of my life. Why? Because I see the traffic down the road and I'm making adjustments now so that I can keep moving forward down the road. I'm not making an adjustment for the traffic I'm in. I'm making an adjustment for the traffic I see, for where I'm going, for what I want to have in my life and what I desire to have in my life. I'm making adjustments today for that then, so that when I get there, I'm already reaping the benefits of that, and so I can move forward. My state of health is not for my today, it's for my tomorrow. My finances is not for my today, therefore my tomorrow. My love life is not for my today, therefore my tomorrow. Everything is for my tomorrow because I see what's coming. And if you can see what's coming down the road, then you have to start making those adjustments today. If you can look down the road and know that if you continue doing what you're doing, staying in the same lane you're in, staying in the same traffic you're in, then your mate is going to leave you or is going to cheat on you, then you need to make the adjustments today to prevent that tomorrow. If you know that the way you're eating, the lack of exercise is going to cause you to have diabetes and have heart disease, then you need to make changes today so that you can not have that tomorrow, so that you can have beauty and abundance of health tomorrow. If you know that the way you do your finances is going to keep you in poverty, and when you're unable to work anymore, you will be in abject poverty and a ward of the state or a burden on your children, then start making changes today so that that is not your tomorrow, nor is it theirs, because that's not fair to them. I implore you guys to do so. I know this is not the message that everyone would normally teach, right? Everybody would make it all fluffy. You know, marketers say that here's the truth, but you can't say this, and here's what you can say that hopefully relates them in the back of their mind to this truth. It's kind of like a fast food restaurant. They can't say, hey, come and get this fake food product that we've made so convenient and low price for you that it doesn't give you any nutritional value, but it solves your convenience and financial question. They can't say that. So they say, come through our quick drive-through where we have hot, fresh food ready for you just by ordering. They tell you something simple like that, and you go for it. Because in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I need to get this fast. I need to get this cheap. Not about my health, not about the condition of my family. Somebody said a couple days ago, I guarantee the CEO of McDonald's doesn't take McDonald's home to his family, but yet sell it to you. And that goes for any fast food joint. Any of them. Any. So, in closing, guys, I have to say the idea, the thought process of I do better because I know better is a lie. You only do better in life when you become what you know to do. When you become what you know, that's when you are doing better, because you are being it. You say you're healthy, be healthy. You say you're a loving, wonderful spouse, be a loving, wonderful spouse. You say that you're financially responsible, be financially responsible. And if I can help you guys, I would greatly appreciate being your coach. If you want to support this channel, continue to support me on Patreon. But you can go to my website, find all of my coaching programs. They will be created into online and DVD programs in the next few weeks. So I look forward to it, and I thank you guys. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself. Why? Because your greatness is non-negotiable when you start being who you want to be.